Communications Coordinator with the Lake in the Hills Police Department. I'm going to be joined today by other members of our department to discuss a very serious as well as at times confusing topic on how to obtain an order of protection. I'm here today with Detective Tiffany Decker, and we're going to begin by answering some common questions that we received from the community. So of course, first things first, what is an order of protection?
An order of protection is a document that the judge signs and is issued by the courts to the petitioner or the person that's actually getting the OP or order of protection. The respondent would be either a family member related by blood, people who are married or used to be married, people who share or used to share a home, apartment, or common dwelling, people that have common children together, people who are dating or engaged or used to be dating, including same-sex couples, and then people with disabilities and their personal assistants.
So how does somebody know if their situation meets the requirements in order to be granted an order of protection?
Each individual is a case by case. They're all different. So there is an agency, it's called Turning Point. They're located out of Woodstock. They've got a facility in the courthouse in McHenry County on the 3rd floor. With their experience and their expertise, they can help someone explain the process and what they need to do in order to obtain an order of protection.
As you know, another very common question that we receive is, what can I do if somebody violates an order of protection?
Well, if it's an emergency situation, always call 911. If it's been violated, you want to notify law enforcement immediately. Also keep in mind, people need to keep in mind that if they do call non-emergency, those lines sometimes are not recorded, so depending on the agency and where they're calling.
So how could I find a courthouse near me?
Well, Lake in the Hills residents can go to the McHenry County Courthouse. If you're outside of Lake in the Hills in another jurisdiction, I recommend calling your local police department. They can direct you to where to go to get the order of protection.
You can also probably find it online as well, right?
That is correct.
I'm joined now by Detective Andy Clem. And Andy, I wanted to ask you, what would happen if somebody calls the police?
The police officer will come to the house or wherever the incident location occurred at. They will take your information and they will ask you about the details of what occurred. From there, if a violation has been deemed or evident that a violation did occur, the minimum will take a report and the officer will explain to you what to expect next.
So how can the police help me?
We are always here to assist, listen, and keep you safe. At minimum, we can point you to the right direction as we have many resources available to you, including Sue with our social services department, advocates with Turning Point, and the McHenry County Crisis Line, which is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These resources are all available to you at no cost.
So the next question I have is a tough one. What if I've already obtained an order of protection and somebody has violated that order of protection, but I still don't feel comfortable if they get arrested? What happens?
That is a very tough question. Orders of protection are signed by a judge and enforceable by the police. When officers respond to an incident, whether it's alleged or there's evidence that the crime had occurred, an arrest will be made. Additionally, violators of order of protection cannot bond out. They are required to see a judge so the proper bond is set. If you change your mind about the order of protection, it's important that you have to go back to court to get it vacated or amended. As I mentioned, the police are obligated to enforce this legal document that's signed by the judge.
So what if the police officer doesn't believe me?
This is also a very important question. Our officers have received specialized training in this field. The Lake in the Hills Police Department take matters of domestic violence very seriously. In cases where there are no physical signs or evidence that a crime had occurred, an arrest may not necessarily be made. However, the incident will always be documented, and you can take that incident, discuss it with Turning Point or an advocate at Turning Point. If you feel that the officer doesn't believe you, you always have that option of requesting a supervisor and discuss it further.
Thank you for mentioning that. And last but not least, I am also joined here today with our Social Services Coordinator, Sue Blushman. Sue, how does somebody know if it's within their best interest to file for an order of protection? And how can they rest assured that they're going to be safe?
This is a very difficult question and really depends on your circumstances. Leaving is a process, and I would encourage you to make a solid plan beforehand. Victims are in the most danger when they choose to leave. Statistics show. So an order of protection can be a very powerful tool. It is a very powerful tool, but many times victims need to also develop an actionable safety plan in addition to getting the order. It's one of the tools in the toolbox. I would encourage everyone to be sure to speak with an advocate who can help guide you in the right direction and determine whether this is the best choice for you.
Absolutely. So Sue, are there any domestic violence resources near Lake in the Hills?
Well, Lake in the Hills Police Department is one of only 2 departments in the county that employ a full-time social services coordinator, and that's my role. This is a proactive approach in recognizing that many issues law enforcement handle are based not only on criminal intent, but are also social and emotional catalysts as well. To this end, I ensure that social services are an integral component in providing the best resources possible to the community. Back in 2014, I was a member of a training team in the development of the McHenry County Domestic Violence Protocol. We worked successfully in partnering to provide training and train hundreds of officers throughout McHenry County. This division further understands that the special needs of citizens may be best met either by immediate short-term counseling internally or by longer-term counseling provided by an independent agency that works in cooperation with the police department. This division, my division, allows officers another option in certain situations other than just arrest.
And we certainly are very fortunate to have you on staff, and we appreciate everything that you do and have done for our community.
Thank you.
Are there any other resources that somebody could go to if they needed additional help?
Turning Point offers free counseling, support groups, shelters, and advocates that can even make arrangements for children and pets. So they're a wonderful resource for us. Also, McHenry County Crisis can be contacted.
Definitely, and that contact information will be provided at the end of this video. So my last question for you is, what are the next steps to take after an order of protection has successfully been filed?
I think the most important thing is to work with an advocate in safety planning and for the next step in the process. You may need legal assistance. They can provide you with options in that regard. Prairie State Legal Services might be one of those options. Remember that, again, obtaining the order of protection is a process, and it comes with ups and downs, and it's a difficult process to leave in general. So advocates, counselors, social workers, somebody who's not biased and can continue helping you to follow through with your plan.
There certainly are a number of resources available, and the process absolutely does not end once that OP has been granted, that's for sure. I want to thank all of our experts for being here and sharing their knowledge with us. Thank you very much, Sue, Detective Decker, as well as Detective Clem. Before we conclude this video, we're going to hear a few words from some of our other officers.
Domestic violence affects people across all ethnicities, ages, sexual orientations, gender identities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Don't fear calling the police for help. We are here to help you.
Recognize abnormal behavior. If it was your mother, your daughter, your sister, or your friend, what would you tell them to do if they were in your shoes?
Remember, an order of protection is not a guarantee of safety. Victims need to go ahead and take precautions to protect themselves. You must call the police if an abuser makes an attempt to violate the order of protection.
It is extremely important for you to document everything and to keep all that information in a private location. Be sure that no one else in your home can gain access to the information and the documentation that you save. Be mindful of what you post online, and keep any and all voicemails and text messages that you receive from the person that you're seeking protection against. Please do not delete anything that you receive.
Be persistent. Don't hesitate to contact law enforcement. please feel free to reach out to us as soon as possible so you don't have to handle this alone.
You are your best advocate. Don't doubt, undervalue, or underestimate yourself. You can get through this.